morning, good morning. It is Friday. Back on my walk again. It's a bit overcast. Rained all night last night, or most of the night. I'm out a little earlier than normal. It's about 6:30, probably quarter to 7 or so. But have a couple early morning appointments, so have to come out early to get my walk in so I can get ready and be on time for my appointments. I hate being late, and I hate when people are late when they have appointments with me. I like to respect people's time. So okay, so all this time I didn't have the earpiece on, so now you can hear me. Good morning. We'll do this again. It's Friday morning. It's about quarter to 7. I'm out a little earlier than normal because I have a couple of early morning appointments. And I don't want to be late, and I wanted to get my exercise in. So I'm gonna do about 6 kilometers. This particular route I think is about 6.3 kilometers or so. So I'll be able to finish it in about an hour and 10 minutes or so. So that gives me enough time to get ready to go on my appointment. So as you can see from the clouds behind me, very overcast. It rained most of the night last night, and there's a little nip in the air. It's not cold, just a little nip, but it's good for exercising because then I didn't get too hot, so it's good for me. Yeah, not many people out right now, but cars are going. So what will we talk about this morning? Few topics. Going to touch on the NBA a little bit. So the Raptors were supposed to play on Thursday, and they didn't. All those games were canceled or postponed. Apparently they're working on seeing when they'll start up again. There's news coming out that Lakers and the Clippers were voting to not continue. So apparently there was some heated conversations being had and stuff. So we'll see how that plays out. MLB, so baseball, soccer, women NBA, no games were played. NHL was a little late to the party as usual. Probably got the invitation late. So they put out a statement yesterday, and I think a couple of games were canceled. I don't follow hockey much, so I know in tennis, Naomi Osaka, she didn't play her match that she was supposed to play yesterday. She put out a statement stating that as a black woman with what's going on. She's Japanese and American. She represents Japan, but she's black, or some people say she's half black. So she didn't play. But that's that for sports this morning. Not much is happening in the sports world. So a little innocuous story came up. In Charlotte, the city council passed a law, or chose not to vote on a law that would have removed Confederate statues. And there was a particular one that people wanted to get moved right away, and they voted not to. Well, Hurricane Laura had something to say about that, because Hurricane Laura, or Storm Laura, because you know all the hurricanes are named after a female. Don't know why. Must have been a guy who came up with that logic. So Hurricane Laura came through and toppled that statue. So a lot of people are saying even God is upset with the statues and decided to take his revenge on it. So, little innocuous fact or story. So there's still issues with the students going back to school. I think now they're going back on a staggered basis starting September 15th. So we'll see how that works out. But there's a mothers group that published or printed or created Stephen Lachey. Stephen Lachey is the Ministry of Education. His last name is spelled Lecce. So yeah, they created a big card. So I'm gonna drop it in the video. I'm gonna figure out how to insert it in. Yes, I'm gonna figure that out, put it in so y'all can see. It's quite funny. So I got a good chuckle out of that. And woke up this morning to there was an analyst, I think she's a realtor, on TV talking about house prices are gonna drop in the fall, go down a little bit more in 2021, go down a little bit more in 2022. Now that's been based on the fact that the government subsidies, the various subsidies that were in place for COVID will be ending, and at that time more people will have to be selling their homes for one reason or another. So they're projecting a 3 to 10% decrease in pricing for the fall into next year and 2022. Now that's all good and well if you look at the projections and you try to do your numbers and go from there, but there's been all kind of predictions regarding the housing market over the last few years. At least every year there's a prediction of something. And every year, so far, they've been wrong. Now, as a realtor, you know, I get the stories of young people not being able to afford properties and people having to move farther out of town to be able to afford a house. And most dreams, like we're told, you know, become an adult, get married, have kids, buy a house, and that's your perfect dream life. So it's embedded in us to buy houses, because that's the best dream, that's your dream life right there. But I don't know. We'll see how that prediction goes, because right now the housing market is crazy. There are properties that are getting 10 and 20 offers, 5, 6, 7 offers. So the housing market is going crazy. And when that happens, it's because supply isn't meeting demand. So they're saying that supply will be more than the demand in the fall, hence property prices will go down. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let me show you the view. Yeah. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens to that. Let's see, that's my view today. That's my view today. So I've recently had to do some leases for various clients, and man, it was brutal. Brutal. There was one person who, an old school friend, she was living in Toronto, and she saw a property she liked in Richmond Hill. I put the offer in, got accepted, worked with the other realtor, got that done. Took a week. I had another client from Brampton. He looked at over 20 houses. We put 6 or 7 offers in, and nothing. He got caught up in multiple offers sometimes. So, those I can understand. But there were other times when he was the only person that applied for the house. Now, what I typically do is I'll call the other agent, talk to him, say, hey, what's your landlord looking for? And the typical answer is, oh, we want AAA clients. We want a small family, somebody who can pay the rent in good credit and have a job. Well, my clients' credit scores were in the 700s, high 700s too. My clients were a small family, husband, wife, and kid. Their income was over $100,000. They were looking in the mid-2000s range, so 24, 25, 26. They wanted a whole house for themselves. They were relocating to Brampton. So, check. They met all the matches. I would call. We would go look at the property. We would put in an offer. And it'll come back, oh yeah, my landlord decided to wait. Or they don't meet the requirements. And I'm saying, you want a small family, check. Good income, check. Good credit, check. And nothing. You come back with bullshit. So, yeah, Brampton was brutal to get the rental done. Finally got it done, and they moved in, but the struggles. I got one done in Mississauga. They looked at maybe 8 properties, put 2 offers in. One was a multiple offer situation, and the other, we got it. And mind you, their credit was a little bruised. There was a reason why. It wasn't because they're delinquent people or anything. It's just situation happened, and their credit got bruised. I explained that to each person I talked to, and the landlord was willing to work with them. But just showing the different places and the issue with Brampton landlords. And I've heard that over and over from other realtors. So we always say Jamaica is not a real place, but and sometimes Brampton's not a real place. Because when that landlord asks for things and you give it to them and they come back and say, hey, that's not what we want, then you have to wonder why. And this issue where, we need to get pictures of them before we rent them the place. That's not a law. That's not a law. That's most landlord using it to be discriminatory. It's not a lot. Yes, you're getting all their information on the rental application. All the information. And yet you're still coming in saying, oh, we need their pictures. Or some will say, oh, I've had one do an interview and then decided, oh, the landlord went to the cottage over the long weekend, came back. Oh, he's still thinking. A week, he's still thinking. Luckily, I didn't sit and wait for them to finish thinking, because I think they're still thinking. But yeah, that's my little rant on Brampton landlords. But like I said, house prices in Brampton house market isn't bad. It's not as crazy as I'm hearing about some places in Toronto and all of that. And I know in Toronto as well, mostly everywhere with Airbnb market getting hit with the COVID, a lot of people were putting their condos up for either long-term lease or for sale. So that's had some effect on condo pricing as well. So we'll have to monitor it and see. I'll keep you all updated so you'll know what's happening. Some of you, it will matter to you because you'll be watching the video right away. Some of you, by the time you watch it, who knows? It may be the fall market and the market may, reduce in price and you'll be able to buy something. Because the other thing I was thinking is, with a lot of people now working from home and now realizing that their house is either too small for that to continue, or their companies decided, you know what, you can continue to work from home, 3-4 days a week or every day. Will those people still want to live close to work, where the houses may be more expensive, or will they then move to the outer regions, to the country areas, Orangeville, Shelburne, further out, cottage country, get their dream home in a different location, a bigger house, for less money, and work from there. So we have to watch that migration too and see what's happening. Anyways, I'm gonna sign off now. Enough rambling for today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, so tomorrow is gonna be one of my longer walks. This Saturday and Sunday, try to do anywhere from 10 to 13 kilometers. So have a good day today. Be thankful for all that you have. I am grateful to be alive and well. Few issues coming up, but with God's help, I'll get through them. And enjoy your day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.